Taking perfect before and after pictures is key for your business's success. And if you're anything like me, you went out and did a couple of jobs and did your best to take before and after pictures before you realized that maybe they didn't turn out as well as they could have, and maybe you should have put a little bit more thought into it. So here's a couple of tips and tricks on how to get good before and after pictures so you can edit them together to look awesome. All right, so first things first, I'm going to be carrying around this piece of wood that is just like a little scrap piece from the table saw. But feel free to get some like yard flags, like those little marking flags that people use in like the utility companies, or to like make sure that dogs know where the electric fence is, that thing. Get some of those. I've used traffic cones before. Sometimes I use things on the person's property, like a fence line. I'll jam my shoulder up against that. But really, you need something to mark a location. And this isn't the only option. What I've also done before is I've set up a tripod and then left the camera in the exact same spot, taking a picture before I started and then taking another picture after I'm finished. And that's a really good way to get super symmetrical pictures, with the only difference being one clean and one dirty. But I only have one camera, so this is what I do most of the time. First, you want to find a good spot to take the picture from. A lot of times I would try and take pictures on the corner because you get a good angle of two sides, and sometimes this can work, but can also sometimes be really difficult to edit the photos and to get them to look super nice. So what is better more often is to try and get super flat with the side. It's easier for the pictures to line up. Let's say I was taking a before and after picture of this concrete. I would have my camera at an angle that I like. Go for the wide angle, I think that looks better. And then I would try and get in the middle, and I'm kind of lining it up on things that I can see on the screen. Maybe get that graph out so you can get it nice exactly where you want it, and then snap a picture. And then stick a stake in the ground right at the tip of your right boot. So I'd leave that there, your flag, whatever it is, and just make note of that. Make sure that you take that up when you leave. It's easier to notice them if they're the flags or traffic cones or something like that. And then, you'd treat your concrete, you'd clean it, you'd do your thing. Hopefully it was a little dirty and you get good pictures. But then, once you're finished and everything looks great, maybe even everything dries, you just come, you find your stake, stick your right boot right onto the stake, you line it up the same way that you had it before, and then you snap another picture. Take vertical and horizontal, like do both, because sometimes one turns out better than the other, and you just want to have some options, because like if you get into the editing and you're like, wow, this one doesn't really work so much for that, or maybe it's cropped funny, whatever, so take a lot of pictures, and then use the best ones that you have for your marketing. Anyway, hope this helps somebody.